The Accountant 2 is making waves. The massive reception at South by Southwest sent ripples through the movie industry. It's now being hailed as far superior to the original. The numbers don't lie. This sequel is on track to absolutely demolish the original's performance in every metric that matters. But how did they do it? What specific changes transformed this franchise? We've analyzed all the early reactions, box office projections, and production decisions to give you the complete picture of a sequel that's actually worth your time and money. The numbers, box office projections. Remember when the original Accountant quietly made $155 million on a $44 million budget? Well, the sequel is about to make those numbers look like rookie math. Let's talk about how the first movie started. The original film wasn't expected to be a big hit. It opened with just $24.7 million on its first weekend. That's not a huge number for a movie with a star like Ben Affleck, but something interesting happened after that first weekend. People kept going to see it. Friends told friends. The movie kept making money week after week. Industry experts weren't sure if making a second Accountant movie was a smart move. The first one got mixed reviews from critics. Only 53% on Rotten Tomatoes thought it was good. But the film found its audience anyway. Regular moviegoers seemed to like it much more than the critics did. Now here's where things get really interesting. Box Office Pro's latest report shows The Accountant 2 is on track to make between $30 million and $40 million in its opening weekend in the United States alone. That's up to 60% more than what the first movie made when it opened. This big jump shows that fans are excited and more people want to see the sequel. The release date is also a very smart business move. The movie comes out on April 25th. This timing is perfect because there aren't many other big movies coming out at the same time. It won't have to fight for viewers with other major films. This gives The Accountant 2 room to attract more people and make more money. The first movie also did well because people talked about it. This word-of-mouth success means there's already a built-in audience eager to see the next chapter. Fans of the first film have been waiting for years to see what happens next with these characters. We should also look at how well the sequel might do around the world. The first Accountant did okay in other countries, but this time the marketing is stronger internationally. This could mean much bigger numbers from viewers outside the United States. When we look at the return on investment, the numbers are even more impressive. The original film turned a $44 million budget into $155 million worldwide. That's a return of 253.54% on the money put into making it. Based on early projections, the sequel could potentially double that figure. With all these factors working together, better critical reception, strategic release timing, and increased fan interest, The Accountant 2 is projected to potentially reach 200 to 250 million worldwide. That would completely shatter the original's performance and establish this series as a major franchise. Action amplified, bigger, bloodier, better. While financial forecasts matter, it's the action that will have everyone talking. Director Gavin O'Connor has done something special with this sequel's fight scenes. He didn't just make them bigger, he made them mean something. Every punch, kick, and gunshot in The Accountant 2 comes from a place of real emotion. This isn't just random violence, it's storytelling through action. The original film gave us Ben Affleck working alone, taking down enemies with cold precision. But those scenes, while good, didn't have the emotional weight they could have. O'Connor knew this and completely changed his approach for the sequel. He wanted every hit to carry the weight of the character's feelings and history. Every action sequence had a purpose, and that's what makes them hit harder, literally and figuratively, Jon Bernthal explained in a recent interview. This focus on purpose makes a huge difference. When two brothers who know each other's moves finally face off, there's an emotional story being told with every blocked punch and counterattack. The brother dynamic changes everything about how the action works. It's not just about winning a fight anymore. It's about a lifetime of shared history exploding into physical conflict. O'Connor and fight coordinator Fernando Chan worked hard to make sure this emotional connection came through in every sequence. You're not just watching cool moves, you're watching a family story play out through violence. Adding even more to the action mix is Daniela Pineda as Anais, a dangerous assassin who brings completely new fighting styles to the series. Her introduction shakes up the established action formula and creates fresh challenges for our main characters. One standout scene features Pineda facing off against Cynthia Addai-Robinson, with stunt double Bronte Coluccio helping make the sequence both realistic and brutal. The preparation for these fight scenes was intense. The actors trained extensively to make every movement feel authentic. This wasn't about flashy, unrealistic action. It was about making you believe these characters could really do what you're seeing. The grounded, realistic approach makes the impacts feel much more meaningful. With the bigger budget came the ability to create more elaborate set pieces. The sequel features action sequences that rival those in major action franchises, both in scale and technical execution. But unlike many big-budget action films, these scenes never lose sight of the characters at their center. The money went into making the action better, not just bigger. O'Connor's vision for the action is clear. Violence without purpose is just noise. In The Accountant 2, every fight scene reveals character, advances the plot, or changes relationships. This approach transforms what could have been standard action sequences into something much more memorable. When Affleck and Bernthal finally square off, you'll feel the weight of their complicated relationship in every blow. The technical improvements are obvious from the first action scene. The camera work is more dynamic, the sound design more impactful, and the choreography more complex. But these technical upgrades serve the emotional core of the sequences, never overshadowing it. This balance of technical excellence and emotional resonance is what sets these action scenes apart. Chemistry and comedy, the unexpected secret weapon. The technical skill on display is impressive, but the most striking change comes from an entirely unexpected place. Unlike the first movie, this sequel has audiences laughing, intentionally. Early viewers at SXSW didn't just applaud the action, they were laughing throughout the film, marking a huge shift from the serious tone of the original. This dramatic change in feel comes from focusing on the brothers' relationship. Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal share what critics call easy chemistry that transforms the movie. Their brotherly bond, which got little attention in the first film, now drives both the humor and the emotional heart of the story. One critic put it simply: Affleck and Bernthal are a fun duo whose interactions are hands down the best part of this film. Their natural back and forth creates moments that feel real rather than scripted. The humor doesn't feel forced, it flows from who these characters are and their complex history together. What's most interesting is that this comedy wasn't even planned. Bernthal revealed in interviews that they never set out to make a funny movie. The laughs came naturally from the chemistry between the brothers. As they worked together, these moments just happened. It wasn't forced, it was just them being them. This natural approach seems to work better than trying to write jokes. When actors have real chemistry, the audience can feel it. Affleck even joked that the character of Christian Wolff never left him, showing how comfortable he is in the role now. A standout scene that shows this new direction takes place in an LA Square dancing bar. This moment delights critics because it shows how the director understands that movement and character work together. The scene highlights how the film blends humor and drama at every turn. The brothers sharing beers on an Airstream roof is another example of their relationship. These quiet moments balance the intense action scenes. By giving us both, the movie feels more complete than the original. What's smart about this approach is how it broadens the appeal. The first movie was mainly for action fans who didn't mind a complex plot. Now, with the added humor, it reaches people who might have skipped the original. One reviewer noted the sequel is an immensely entertaining film thanks to this duo. But the comedy doesn't mean they forgot about the drama. Critics praise how the actors ground their arguments in their characters' past trauma. This adds emotional weight to their jokes and fights. The humor works because it comes from real feelings between brothers with a complicated past. The most impressive part is how the film keeps its crime thriller roots while adding this new dynamic. It doesn't become a full comedy, it just adds another layer to what was already working. This balance is tricky, but based on early reviews, they got it right. What makes this shift especially notable is how it allows the actors to show more range. Affleck, who played Christian Wolf very stiffly in the first film, fitting for the character, now gets to show more sides of his personality through his interactions with his brother. Bernthal, too, gets to display both his tough guy persona and his more vulnerable, funny side. Some of the film's best scenes happen when the brothers argue like real siblings while handling deadly situations. This contrast, everyday brother bickering during life-threatening moments, creates comedy gold that the first film never attempted. A key scene mentioned by several critics shows the brothers at a bar, with Bernthal's character trying to help his socially awkward brother navigate normal human interaction. These moments of connection help viewers care more about both characters than they might have in the original film. As the credits roll on The Accountant 2, it's clear we're watching the middle chapter of something bigger. Director Gavin O'Connor revealed this was always meant to be a trilogy. There's always been 3, he confirmed, sharing that the trilogy concept came during the first film's post-production. The team is already exploring storylines for the third film, building on the foundation this sequel established. What started as a modest thriller has transformed into a potential franchise powerhouse. With its improved formula, The Accountant 2 doesn't just continue the story, it elevates it, setting the stage for what might become an unexpectedly influential action trilogy. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to Movies Unbound for more behind-the-scenes insights. See you on the next one.